folks, welcome to Cast and Marine. Today we're working on a 1988 Sea Ray 268 Sundancer. This is a boat we bought as a project boat. We've been working on it for the past month, I would say. Bought it in December, just before the snow really flew. We're doing an extensive refit on the exterior as well as the interior. We're just basically trying to get it up back to speed and good health. So as you can see, we're doing an exterior restoration here. What we're doing here is we are wet sanding the boat and then we're polishing it out. So we're starting with 600 sandpaper, going to 800, then 1,000, then we're going to heavy cut compound and then wax. So as you can see up above here, you can see how dull the boat was. We're gonna restore this as well, but you can kind of just see the mirror image that we're getting off the boat now and the progress it's already made. From here on down, we'll just be bottom painted again, but I think you're gonna see a real fresh look to it once we're done. We'll move around to the back here in a second and show you some of the mechanicals. So when we got the boat in December, we gave it a quick run up. Things we found were we had a rough running engine on one side and one side was flooding. Both outdrives on the back here were not pumping water sufficiently, so we decided to go ahead and right away disassemble the stern drives. At that point we found a bad bearing on the back and did a standard transom reseal is what we call it, or AKA a rubber tune-up. So that allows us to seal the entire back end of the boat, creating a nice watertight seal again so all the mechanicals can stay nice and dry over time. As you can see, we've set up our fake bath here. We're gonna fill this up with water in the next week or so and give them both a full test run, and we'll make sure to take a nice video on that as well. But we think back here we're pretty much at 98%, so we just need to bolt the other drive back on and away we go. All right, so we're up here on the top sides of the boat. We'll pan down here into the bilge and have a peek at what the power plants are here. We're powered by twin V6s. They are 4.3 liter LXs with 4-barrel Rochester carburetors. The starboard side motor had a fuel problem with it flooding, so we went ahead and rebuilt that one. Over on the port side, we had a little bit of a rough run, and we were assuming that maybe that was a carburetor related issue as well. However, we went ahead and had to determine that it was actually a bad spark plug wire that was causing our problems. So all the spark plug wires have been replaced. We're also in the process of replacing the bilge pump switch. That's why you see the two center manifolds here. Both have the elbows taken apart just to access that. We also inspected the flappers on the exhaust system. That keeps the water from backing up into the engine while coming off plane or with a heavy load in the back of the boat. We wanted to make sure those were good because if you were to take a gulp of water over the back end, that can and will implode the valve train very quickly. We hope to have all this buttoned up in the next week here and have everything humming and running in our portable tank here. It'll be our golden test, so to speak. All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit more about the cosmetics here. Today we've got Will Caston here. He's our technician for the gel work, and as you can see here, we've started a little bit of restoration on the cockpit. Will, why don't you talk a little bit about what you got going on here?
So here what I've done is I've added a little bit of high strength filler to some areas where it had some small spiderweb cracks due to maybe an impact or something along these lines. You can see these dots right here. Those were from a channel for a fishing rod to set up in. And I just went ahead and filled all those and prepped it ready for gel coat. We're getting ready to put the gel coat on, and we'll be getting to that soon.
So, Will, did you already stop? All right, so Will, you showed us, we took the downrigger holders off. What are we gonna coat that with? What's our concept? Are we gonna put that out to a high finish and make it like new, or are we going to do another method here?
So what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna create a non-skid using the OEM gel, the same color. It's just gonna have a texture as such. on here as well, so that when someone were to step, or if someone were to step on this or step over here, we'll be having that as well. And you can tell here we got two different colors. They're just the colors of the hardener. So.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
So this 268 Sea Ray Sundancer was noted for its cabin space, for being a little mid-cabin cruiser. You have the V berth up here that converts into a bed. This dinette drops into another bed. And then you have the aft cabin back here, which you can't see right now, but we'll get to that later. As you can see, we haven't really gutted the cabin yet, but the previous owner put in a window type air conditioner that you would probably see in an apartment or a small office. We're gonna definitely get rid of that. We don't think it works well in here. We may try to reconfigure it and use it in some way, but for the most part, this is going to be air conditioned via open windows and fans. Other than that, we did sound the entire boat before we started the project, just to make sure we had a good sound structure, and there is no rot in any of the structure on the boat. The stringer systems are all intact. Should polish out very well.